Hey everybody, Calvin here, and this is part one of my Black Ops Retrospective. I was trying to figure out how I was going to break this up. Originally it was going to be 3 videos. Now I think it's just going to be two 10-minute ones. I think that's about all you guys can probably stand. We're going to call this one the good, and the next two, or excuse me, the next one, the bad and the ugly. I know I'm a little bit behind on videos, but if you can't tell from the fact that my voice sounds like Barry White, I've been fighting a pretty nasty cold the last couple of days. My entire family's been sick for like 2 weeks, and this is sort of how I manifest a cold. My deep voice gets even deeper and sexier. I know, it's exciting for you guys. Anyways, this is a really old game of domination on jungle. And I have many kills, 82, 83, something like that. Massive whoring of chopper gunners and Hinds and other things that are lame and people don't like. But hey, I don't care. It was a good game and I had a lot of fun. And I get like 40 kills in less 1 minute, so there you go. Black Ops. You know, I pretty much unequivocally liked Call of Duty 4. I had some serious issues with Frag Times 3 and Martyrdom and shit like that, but for the most part, you know, I liked it and respected it, and I knew that it was a massive step forward for the genre, and it was a step forward we'd probably never see again, not to that magnitude. And I loved World of War. I actually liked World of War initially more than I liked COD 4, although my feelings on it have changed, and I was absolutely obsessed with Modern Warfare 2 when it came out. I mean, I played 600-700 hours of Modern Warfare 2, I think, so probably double as much as I've played of any other Call of Duty game so far. And Modern Warfare 2 is the Call of Duty game that I love to hate. Or no, excuse me, that I have a love-hate relationship with. I misspoke. Because I love that game 1 minute and hate it the next, because it is an awful, broken, buggy mess of a game, and in retrospect I can't really believe we put up with it for so long. Black Ops became the game I loved to hate. That's what I was trying to say to begin with. And I mean that because I think for a lot of reasons I've given Black Ops a bad rap pretty much the entire existence of the game. And it's taken me until about 2 months before the release of Modern Warfare 3 to realize just how relatively good and polished this game was. Now, this is the good, so I'm not going to slam the game too much, but I want to be fair. I find Black Ops incredibly slow and very frequently boring. And that goes back to saying, you know, this is the game I love to hate. But at the same time, I genuinely respect what Treyarch did with Black Ops, and I genuinely respect how good of a game this is technically. And I think it's important to point out that as much bullshit as that we see in Black Ops, every other Call of Duty game has had it. They've had it even worse. So, this is the good. This video is the good. So let's talk about it. What is the best things in Black Ops? Black Ops does a lot of stuff right. It's relatively balanced, it's relatively polished, it's relatively bug-free. There's a nice variety of maps, a very nice variety of weapons. The game does reward skill in that the weapons have a significant amount of recoil, and it's not quite as easy to kill people as it is in Modern Warfare 2. So, just right there, objectively, you can say, yeah, Black Ops is a pretty damn proficient game. At least technically, it's a very proficient game. So individually, what can I point out that I liked in Black Ops? The single best thing about Black Ops is the fact that the developers, Treyarch, introduced the ability to really change things up on the fly in their title update system. And let me say this, when Black Ops came out, the knife was completely broken. Second Chance was, as it has always been in Call of Duty, which is completely broken. Within a couple of months, the knife was fixed. It's still longer lunge than I'd like it to be, but that's just a design philosophy disagreement. I don't agree with the way the knife is in Call of Duty, but they fixed it. They reduced the lunge greatly. Second Chance, just like it has in every other Call of Duty game, used to, when Black Ops came out, awarded you a kill when you downed the player that was sitting in Second Chance, which is terrible. The person who puts the guy in Second Chance should get the kill. You did all the work, right? People complain, Treyarch listened, they fixed it. That is amazing. This is the first time in the history of Call of Duty that a developer has significantly changed or modified the actual way a perk works. I mean, it is a huge revolutionary step forward in the way they approach this game. And I think Treyarch needs to seriously be applauded for that. Now, Second Chance is still completely broken and buggy and a piece of shit. But hey, they fixed the worst part of it. So that's number one. And I really do want to give them a lot of credit for that. Number two is transparency. They discussed the patching process quite thoroughly. They discussed balance issues quite thoroughly. And for that, I give them a lot of credit. Infinity Ward didn't. I mean, they just weren't interested in talking to us about the game, and they should have, because we knew the game better than they did for the most part. Those of us that collectively had played the game for 1,000 hours each. I think the thing that Treyarch realized is that if you listen to the feedback of your community, at the very worst, you're going to find things that the vocal minority of players want, and that's probably a better thing in the game for the long run, even though it might not be a better thing for the casual player. I also applaud Treyarch and David Vonderhaar for their willingness to work with the guys at MLG to make a game, to make a better product, one that would play well on the Major League Gaming level. I think from the sound of his tweets that Vaughn got a little bit over enamored with that scene, and it allowed it to cloud his judgment to some effect, but still I applaud him for the effort. Black Ops also did a great job of relative balance. Ghost is a badly designed and badly balanced perk because there's no stopping power in the game. And that's something we can discuss in the next video. But overall, things were balanced well. The explosives are annoying in this game, but not really. I mean, if you run Flak Jacket, and I ran Flak Jacket, you know, I run it probably on at least 50% of my classes, it's really hard to get killed by explosives. The game really, really works well. In the second tier, steady aim is viable, sleight of hand is viable. I mean, I guess hardened is viable. Scout Pro is even useful at times. Tier 3 has Hacker, which is useful. It has Tac Mask Pro, which might be the best perk in the game. Ninja is, you know, it's broken, but it can be useful. And Tier 1 has a great variety of perks in Ghost and Hardline and Scavenger and things like that. Lightweight. So there really was a good balance to the perks. I think, as with most games, people pretty much end up choosing the best combination of perks and run with that at this point in the game, and don't vary things up much. But they did a really good job balancing it. And as far as that goes, for weapon balance, they also did a really good job in balancing the game. Yeah, guys, the FAMAS is overpowered. It's the best gun in the game. The Galil is a really close second best gun in the game, and the AUG behaves so much like the FAMAS that it's probably the third best gun in the game. But to my eyes, it does less damage. I don't know why, but it certainly seems to do less damage. But overall, the guns really do work well. I mean, you can use a Spectre, an AK-74, or an MP5 very well in the SMG class. You can use a Galil, a FAMAS, a Commando, an AUG. People have a lot of success with the G11. The weapons worked great. I mean, for the most part, they really were a balanced set of weapons, and I think they should be commended for that. And I want to say that the single best thing that Treyarch did with this game is the SR-71, the Blackbird that I just called in. This is the greatest, well, second greatest behind the AC-130 perk or kill streak in the history of Call of Duty. So that ends the good. Tomorrow the bad.